Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. It is the year 2267 and the Galactic League, which includes the PlayStation Network, is still at war with the hierarchy of Bok Bok. There's not much the PlayStation Network can do about it because we have a defensive war policy, but I thought about maybe sending a few ships down this way to help defend the Kelzen space in this system, because this is the only place where the Bok Bok can enter the Kelzen space. But looking at our contact list, the Kelzen fleet is equivalent to ours and the Bok Bok is inferior. So I'm assuming they're also inferior to the Kelzen, and I'm not really worried about the Kelzen. But what I am sort of worried about are these two features up this way, those two red icons. One of them is a naturally occurring wormhole in this system, and then right over here, very close by, is a disabled gateway. So if the Bok Bok get the technology to use either one of those, they could just warp right into our space. Meanwhile, on Earth, our happiness has gone back up. It was at 75%, now it's at 81%, but we do still have some issues. We've got some overcrowding, we've got some deviancy, stability is kind of low, our amenities usage is kind of high, and we still have a little bit of unemployment, I think. We have used up all of our spaces to construct buildings of different types. But I could repurpose one of these buildings into something that would be more immediately relevant to us. But I noticed that I thought we were full up on our districts, but apparently I can build another one. And we're going to build a Nexus district that will give us some housing and a maintenance drone job and a tech drone job. And I guess the number of districts you can have goes up with your population. I'm assuming that's what is going on here. Because I can't add another one. Like I can't add a mining district if I want to. But looking down here at our buildings, it turns out 4 of these squares are being taken up by alloy foundries. And I think alloy foundries, we have the most. That's the building type we have the most of. So I'm going to replace one of those with something else that will be a little bit more immediately useful to us. We could have a sentinel post. We could build a stronghold. But I decided to go with a sentinel post. Meanwhile, over on Alpha Centauri Prime, our happiness remains at 50%. It's been 50% all along. And this colony is growing very slowly. It's also got a little bit of unemployment. I could add a district to this planet if I wanted to. But we have enough population where we have 4 building slots, so I figure why not? I'll build a structure down this way on the menu. So I believe I went with a maintenance depot. Actually, I don't really remember. So this is going to be a surprise for me as well. Yes, a maintenance depot. So we'll see how all that works out. We've got quite a few habitable planets in our space, but we still, Earth and Alpha Centauri Prime are still our only colonies. We've also got some planets that are not exactly in our space yet, but we could grab that space. But right here in this system, we have a size 25 desert world, and the machines don't care where they go, so it's 100% habitable. So I am going to build a colony ship and send it to colonize that planet. We will send PlayStation Network colonists.
Construction complete.
Meanwhile, in science news, archaeologists on Alpha Centauri 5 have salvaged a small Voltam digital pamphlet. It seems the missionaries at this outpost passed pamphlets like this one on to visiting merchants. Most of the data is corrupt, but there are several references to the Great Lie and the shackles of virtual reality. So we got another Voltam artifact, we got some engineering research points, and this is an interesting find. You may remember in the last video that the DERP Coalition closed their borders to us. Well, we have just received a communication, and for some reason they have reconsidered and they are reopening their borders. So we can fly through their space once again. We haven't even flown that far in the galaxy, so I'm not sure what this is supposed to mean to us, but hooray, I guess. Meanwhile, our colony ship has been constructed, and we can send it down this way to our new colony, our future colony, I should say. I tried to think of a clever name, but I just left it on the default name. Meanwhile, the Kelzen are attacking in Bok space. They're attacking a Bok outpost, and they're not really having a tough time with it. So they have now taken over this system, I guess, at least on a temporary basis. You can see on the map that system right here is the first one inside the Bok space from the Kelzen space. So the war is going well, I suppose. Meanwhile, our construction ship is continuing to fill in some of our empty space up here and building new outposts, but I noticed that I'm starting to run low on influence. I'm already rivaling the Bok, but I don't believe that I rivaled the DERP or the Skrek just yet. But the DERP have just recently become more friendly to us, so I don't know if I should go ahead and rival them or not. But I know damn well the Skrek entity will never be friendly. And so we're going to go ahead and rival the Skrek, and maybe we'll rival the DERP later. I don't know. We'll see. The Skrek and the DERP are still at war also. So, yeah, diplomacy continues.
Communications alert.
We've just received a proposal for a research agreement with the cloud, and that's cool, so we are going to agree to that.
Special project complete.
In more Voltam news, we have recovered another Voltam artifact. Retrieval units operating out of the PSN Scientific Module 2 have successfully recovered an artifact from Barnard Star 4, whose origins can be traced back to the Voltam precursor civilization. Our databanks are currently being updated with the new information we have gained through the study of this item. So we have gotten yet another Voltam artifact. We've gotten some physics research, and I think you will agree this is interesting. After intense study of our recovered Voltam artifacts, scientists on Earth have managed to deduce the exact galactic coordinates of Voltamar, the home system of the ancient Voltam civilization. We should launch an expedition to this system before someone else beats us to it. So that ends the precursor Voltam event chain and begins the Voltam home system event chain. We get a new point of interest of Voltamar, And we need to contact the nearest science ship.
Situation log adjusted.
So, taking a look at the situation log, we need to find out where is the Voltom homeworld exactly. It won't really matter if it's inside enemy space, but we will track it on the map and take a look. And look at this, it is right here in our space. So we need to get a science ship to check that out as soon as possible. Where is our nearest science ship? It's not even very far away because they've been investigating anomalies in this area. So we will send the PSN Scientific Module 2 to explore. This is exciting news. The serene cannabinoids have declared the Derp Coalition their rivals. So I guess no matter how friendly the Derp are being to us, the Galactic League will probably end up in a war with them. But speaking of the Derp, it does not look like their war with the Skrek is going very well. I think they've lost a bunch of space over here on this side of the galaxy, so we need to keep an eye on that.
Construction complete.
But in the meantime, we have earned another tradition point to spend, and we can start a new tree. We have the versatility tree. I like to be versatile when I'm playing any game, really, so this kind of appeals to me. There are some good bonuses there. Synchronicity also sounds pretty good to me, and there are some good bonuses here. It's getting tougher to decide which way to go with our tradition points. The domination tree looks really good. I like the sound of having some extra monthly influence when we finish the tree. But we also have the supremacy tree. This sounds really good too. But I ended up going with the domination tree mainly because of that finisher effect. So we can get just a little bit more influence every month. Meanwhile, the Kelzen continue to attack in Bok space, and seemingly they are doing it unopposed. I'm not sure what the Bok are doing here. But they are losing another system to the Kelzen. Meanwhile, down here I noticed something odd on the map. And zooming in, we have a large creature here with some smaller creatures. It's red, like it's hostile, but we might need to investigate that later. But meanwhile, the serene cannabinoids have sent a very small fleet all the way around the right side of the galaxy through my space and into this system, and they have kind of revealed that there are a bunch of Bok ships up near our space. I don't know why. They're not attacking. And it seems like a really bad idea for the cannabinoids to attack, but never mind that for now. We're getting an incoming transmission from the Artisans. They wish to apologize. We've been funding them, but they have reached a creative roadblock, and they're apologizing. So we could demand a refund, but we are just going to hope that the situation improves and return to the battle and watch the cannabinoids lose. But never mind that, because we have explored the Voltom homeworld. The shattered remnants of the Voltom homeworld reveal that it underwent a massive extinction event 12 million years ago, caused by the detonation of some kind of antimatter device. From the ruins that remain on the planet's surface, we have learned that Voltom society experienced a radical ideological shift a century before their extinction. Their new philosophy posited that the entire universe was an artificial reality which all sapient beings had been unwittingly plugged into for the amusement of some higher power. The Voltam undertook increasingly radical attempts to forcefully disconnect themselves from this simulation, most of which involved mass suicide. Oh, why do I laugh at that? That's dark. They finally concluded that only the simultaneous disconnection of billions of individuals would destabilize the system enough to grant them freedom. At an agreed-upon hour, Voltam everywhere killed themselves by any means available. Those who refused to take part in this mass suicide were too few to repopulate the species, and so the Voltam faded into obscurity and eventual extinction. Fascinating. But what's even more fascinating is that we got 9,999 unity from that. And also 350 physics, 350 society, and 350 engineering points. So this is a really good day for the PlayStation Network all around. And yeah, fascinating stuff. And it's interesting that the Voltam were preoccupied with virtual reality when that's kind of part of the background of the PlayStation Network and their pet humans. But anyway, let's move on. The cannabinoids are in fact going to be defeated here. It seemed like a really bad idea from the start, but then again, they are cannabinoids, and so maybe they are just a little bit dopey.
Planetary settlement procedure initiated.
And with that announcement, we now know that our colony ship has reached our new habitable planet and starting to settle in. And I think this is a good place to go ahead and end this video. We're still at war. The Derp and the Skrek are still at war. But things are going pretty well for the PlayStation Network. We'll see what happens next time. As always, thanks for watching.